I got good news and I got bad news for you. Which one do you want to hear first? Well, I'm going to start with the bad news, which is in 2023 and beyond, Instagram will be your most powerful and important dating tool in your toolkit, if you like it or not. And I know you're watching this thinking, Alex, I don't want to become an influencer. I don't want to post every day. I don't want to think about, remembering taking a photo of my food in the morning every day. I understand. I don't want to do that either, which brings me to the good news. The good news is most guys are really shit at using social media to improve their dating life, to send a message out there to the world and especially to the women that they want to attract. So you don't have to do a lot actually, and I will show you this in this video. You can do the minimal effort that is more than zero to attract women into your world and to broadcast your message, okay? So don't worry about becoming an influencer, don't worry about hashtags, followers, likes, all of that stuff is not important, all right? So let's look first of all into the daily life of a woman and why she uses Instagram way more than you think. All right, let's call her Kelly. Let's draw it out here on a nice timeline. All right, Kelly, let's say she's 24 years old. She's a student and she's active. So she goes to the gym, she goes hiking on the weekends, stuff like that. So she gets up at 8 a.m., ready for Instagram, right? And then let's just line out her day. So then she has like breakfast. After 9 a.m., after breakfast, she makes her way to the university. She spends like 6 hours there. So let's say uni from whatever 9 a.m. to like 3 p.m. Then she walks home or on the way home has a coffee with her friend, sits a little bit in the cafe, so 3 to 5 with her friends. Then she wants to work out a bit, so all together from like 5 to 7 she's at the gym. And then she spends her evenings doing house stuff. Laundry, a little bit of Netflix, maybe going out for a drink, maybe she's on a date. The reality is she's spending a lot of time on Instagram. So she wakes up and already, obviously, she checks her phone and she will spend like 20 minutes on her phone checking what happened during the night, any news, who messaged her from maybe different countries, who liked her photos, who commented, she comments back. So like 30 minutes here. And then she has breakfast. As she's having breakfast, she's swiping through reels for 20 minutes, or as her eggs are cooking in the thing. Then at uni, some classes she's super focused, or the teacher is like really capturing her attention, or she's really interested. But obviously in breaks or on boring classes, she kind of has it opened up. She's messaging with friends as she's taking notes. So all together, she's probably like 90 minutes actively here on Instagram during that time as well. Then in the cafe, what are girls doing? They're gossiping a little bit, they're taking selfies, they're talking about what happened last weekend and so on. They're showing, hey, I met this guy on Saturday, this guy on Sunday, whatever. So all together, the girls are chatting, but in between, they're opening Instagram together, another 30 minutes. She goes to the gym. As she's on the treadmill, what is she doing? Maybe watching a YouTube video. As the video is playing, messages popping up, she's responding. Because keep in mind, Instagram is such a better messaging tool than WhatsApp or other messaging tools, because you're engaging with actual content that people are putting out all the time that they care about. They're showing their lifestyle, they're showing their work, they're showing their travels, they're showing what's important to them, they're showing what they just bought, they're showing what they want to buy in the future. Like, you can engage them in a much better context than simply messaging back and forth. In the gym, another 45 minutes. And in the end of the day, she's like half aware scrolling. So if you add all that up, that's a lot. That's 2 hours, 15 here, another 1.5. So that's like 3:45 and another, that's like 4.5 hours. And sounds crazy, but if you think about it, most people these days, there's statistics about that, have 6 to 7 hours screen time a day on their phone. And if you then consider, well, they're using Instagram to socialize, to message, to get information, they use it as their news tool, they use it as their content production tool, they're editing videos in Instagram, then having more than 50% of these 6 and 7 hours inside of that one app is actually quite realistic. If you don't believe me, ask 3 of your female friends, if you have any, to show them their screen time, and then comment below what you found out. All right, so far so good. We established that Kelly and your target audience, because like Kelly is your target audience. As a young man, I don't know how old you are watching this, but according to my YouTube analytics, you're somewhere between 24 and 40, which means you're probably into women in the age range of 20 to 35, right? And they're similar. Not all of them are students, but they're maybe bored at work, but they're also active. They're also meeting friends. They're social. They're not crazy hustlers, right? They're not CEO kind of women. So this will be quite similar across the board with the women that you're attracted to. You have to realize that and accept that. So we established you're spending a lot of time there. And you have to see it almost as a marketer. You have to think all this attention that is going into this screen of the lady, into her smartphone, is unused if you are not using Instagram. She's looking at something, so she might as well be looking at you. Let's draw a graph. So what do we have here? This is a graph of how many minutes a day women watching your stuff. And this is, let's call it months in your life. Here again, we're gonna talk about 2 different characters. We're gonna talk about Jack and we're gonna talk about Tyler. And the main difference between those 2 dudes is the one is taking risks, the one is ready to approach, the one is escalating, and the other guy is not. So Jack is only using Tinder. He's not able to approach women when he sees them on the street, but Tyler is. So let's say what difference that makes in their dating life. So we start with Jack. And Jack isn't really using Instagram that much because he doesn't have a reason to. The only women he meets is on Tinder and, like friends who he's not attracted to or they friend zoned him. So he's not posting a lot, maybe once a week a story about something boring because he doesn't really understand the principles of visual storytelling. So over the course of many months, he's kind of adding some girls. So that's how many girls are watching as well to his Instagram, but they're not really watching a lot. Okay, here he was swiping a lot on Tinder and it kind of goes down again because they unfollow him because he's not really posting. So it doesn't really go up anyways. And he's basically not occupying this time really well. Women don't really know he exists. Now let's talk about Tyler in green. Tyler does 2 things differently than Jack. First of all, he's approaching. Every day, Tyler is meeting 1 or 2 women on the street, which is very realistic. And I'll talk about that in another video, which you can watch here or here. So Tyler is adding women all the time. He's also posting stories every time. So not only is Tyler adding new women to his Instagram that are watching because they had a conversation with him on the street and they're kind of more engaged because they met him in the real world already. Also, the women he met 1 month ago, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, they're still watching because he's engaging them with posting more stories. And thirdly, he's posting more because he has a reason to. So his thing is literally exponentially and it goes up a lot more. If you compare it, here, Jack has these 8 women he added from Tinder that are watching versus, and this goes way more up, 20x, 30x, 50x in terms of minutes, how much space, attention Tyler is occupying in women's mind because he keeps adding more and more women all the time. And you guys notice, you can imagine this because you're smart watching this, and I'm sure you thought about the power of compound interest before. Who knows Warren Buffett? What's his main thing? Compounding. That's why he's a multi-billionaire. And you have to apply the same principle that you use to become financially wealthy, also to become socially wealthy. So here we have the compound interest. Make sense? I'm going to show you another principle from the marketing world, which is marketing funnels. Everybody understands that, right? Companies are trying to get a lot of attention to their product, to then people signing up maybe for their newsletter, or they order a test sample, or they buy the basic subscription. And then it's the company's sales team's job to convert these leads into selling the big product. Okay. Let's draw the 2 different funnels of the 2 guys. Jack's funnel is almost not existing. Very, very slim. There's some girls here. Okay, there's 1 girl, there's another girl. Okay, let's give him 1 more because he updated his Tinder profile recently. So here's the women in his funnel, and he's like trying to like text them. So he's like messaging them on WhatsApp or on Tinder or wherever they're online. You know, each of these women, they live their life, they're watching stories, but they're not watching Jack's stories, they're watching Tyler's stories. Because Tyler has this huge funnel. You know, obviously every good funnel has different stages. So here, all the women that Tyler approached on the street who liked him enough to give him their Instagram, to follow him on Instagram, because I always recommend make the girl follow you so she actually stays in your funnel. They're watching the stories that he's putting out. So he has his, how do you draw? Okay, so he's putting out his videos, right? About what, I will tell in a minute. So, and they're watching, they're looking at that. And even some of these girls from Jack, they're watching the videos. They're also in the funnel, actually, right? And the problem is, imagine a girl who on the one hand matched Jack on Tinder, but also got approached by Tyler. Who will she get attracted to more, especially as time goes on? So what is Tyler posting? Big question. Let's go here. He's not posting anything crazy, you know? Maybe he has a dog, maybe not. Maybe his friend has a dog, or he's playing with dogs in the park. Okay, he does some yoga stretching in the morning. He goes for coffee with friends. On the weekend, he might go for a hike here and there, or he's enjoying a good meal in a restaurant, or he cooks himself. Occasionally, he's trying out some new hobby. This week, he tried out salsa dancing. So he's trying to live an active life. And so does Jack, by the way. It's not about that Tyler is so much cooler than Jack. It's just, he is just showing it more. And it doesn't have to be bungee jumping or skydiving or motocross, whatever. It's literally about the attention. It's staying in people's mind. If you think about a certain brand of toothpaste or a certain brand of cereal, some brand will come into your mind. And the reason this brand comes into your mind is because they're spending the most money on advertising, right? So it's actually the same principle here. Okay, all these women that Tyler met on the street, who, fair enough, are more engaged with him because, I mentioned this, they are meeting him in the real world, and he makes a good impression because he's using the principles of charisma and communication, stuff I teach. They're following him. Eventually, these women will engage with him. So that's kind of the first stage here, is engagement. What does engagement mean in this case? From the female side, very little. They might like a story. They might write an emoji to your story. They might make a comment on your photo. They might like a photo. Anything where she shows interest is engagement. And that might seem like very little, but it's basically gives Tyler permission to reach out. So he now goes over to communication. So chatting, small talk. Hey, what's up? How's life? Haha, sends a meme. Oh, you also been there? Cool. Oh, do you like this type of food? Oh, yeah, this restaurant is great. I've been there at my birthday. Chit chat. Okay, if she engages, if her response time is quite short, right? She doesn't take forever to respond, and she's actually thinking about her answers a little bit. She's not just saying haha. That gives Tyler, again, permission to go into the next phase, which is offer. So now Tyler goes into the offer stage, which basically means he's suggesting to doing something together. He's inviting her to a social event. Maybe Tyler's organizing a little barbecue on the weekend, or his friend's going ice skating and she should join, or he's offering, hey, let's have a coffee, let's hang out, let's have a drink, let's meet at a bar, let's go on a date, basically. Maybe he doesn't call it a date, probably better. All right, and then the chance that she accepts that offer is obviously way higher because he did all that work. It's a qualified lead. She's a hot lead, right? She's a hot lead. And in the end, they will fall in love. That's why the heart is shaped like a heart, because it's at the bottom of the funnel. So at the end, they meet up, and what happens then is kind of up to Tyler. If he's good at escalating, if he's good at taking risk, if he's good at going for the kiss, which again I talked about in this other video as well. So action steps. If you don't have any profile yet, create one right now. Give it a username, your name, either your full name, your name with numbers, your name and something. Put at least 6 photos on your profile. If you already have 6 or more photos, good job. You can go over these photos and actually check, are you actually in these photos, or did you just post photos of food or landscape or something like that on your feed? That's first step. Second step is post one story about your day, how you see the world, where you walk today, some cute cat, some meme you found is funny, anything. If you're not sure if that's a good story for your profile, if it fits for you, if it's actually getting attention from women, I'm gonna do you a favor. You can send me that story to @alexleon.life on Instagram, and I'm gonna either give you a thumbs up or thumbs down in the messages. And obviously, if you need more help, you can ask me as well. And you can especially click below this video. There's a link to a free consultation where I gonna take time and sit down with you and talk about your current dating situation, your goals, what we're working with, and how we're gonna get to those goals over the course of multiple months, okay? So click below to book a free consultation right now. And remember, you just one approach away from something magical coming in your life, and see you in the next video.